An immigration judge in Louisiana has ruled that Columbia University grad student Mahmoud Khalil can be deported.
You ever wonder what it feels like to vanish? Not because you broke the law, not because you did anything wrong, but because you said something they didn't like. You raised your voice, and they noticed. One minute you're grabbing a coffee, the next you're gone. Surrounded, taken, no calls, no warnings. Just black SUVs, cold metal cuffs, and silence.
This is really about a test of the limits of the courts and in these immigration contexts where courts really do defer to the executive branch when it comes to immigration and deportation generally, Tom.
When lawful residents like Khalil and Kilmar Abrego Garcia face detention or deportation without proper legal proceedings, it signals a troubling shift away from constitutional norms.
The government said Khalil's presence in the U.S. has, quoting here, potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequences.
Khalil, a green card holder and Columbia University graduate student, was detained after participating in campus demonstrations. Despite no criminal charges, an immigration judge ruled him removable based on a letter from the Secretary of State, citing potential foreign policy concerns. Likewise, Kilmar Abrego Garcia was mistakenly deported to El Salvador, even though a U.S. court had ordered he not be removed.
If Mahmoud can be targeted in this way simply for speaking out for Palestinians and exercising his constitutionally protected right to free speech, this can happen to anyone over any issue the Trump administration dislikes.
These actions raise serious concerns about due process. The Fifth Amendment guarantees that no person shall be deprived of liberty without due process of law, a protection that extends to all individuals inside the United States, regardless of citizenship.
Khalil, a green card holder, participated in pro-Palestinian demonstrations on Columbia's campus and was detained by ICE in New York before he was flown to a detention center in Louisiana last month. Khalil now has until April 23rd to challenge the judge's decision.
Khalil remains in ICE custody. His legal team has until April 23rd to appeal the deportation ruling. The government's justification? That his presence poses potential foreign policy concerns, despite no charges, no crime, and no evidence. Meanwhile, Kilmar Abrego Garcia is still being held in El Salvador. The U.S. Supreme Court ordered the administration to help bring him back, and yet they haven't. These cases aren't isolated mistakes. They're part of a pattern, testing the limits of executive power while undermining the authority of the courts. If this becomes the norm, due process dies by 1,000 cuts. This isn't about one man. It's not about protests. It's not even about immigration. It's about due process. The Fifth Amendment protects every person inside the United States. It says you can't be punished, imprisoned, or deported without fair procedures. That right doesn't just disappear because you joined a protest or because a politician doesn't like your beliefs. When the government decides who deserves rights and who doesn't based on fear, politics, or public opinion, we lose the foundation of American justice. If you believe that protecting due process is an American right that safeguards all of us, then you're with us. Support our work. Go to turnleftpac.org right now. Let's defend the Constitution. Let's protect the rights that protect every one of us.